Silvano was a good friend of mine. Silvano Venuto. He and John started his photographic business together with him on his business was on Western Road. And he had lots of people working for him. He designed all his own equipment, just like I did, but he was a much bigger operation than I was. I was a photographer doing fashion photography, and I developed my own films and made my own prints, much like he did, but he had a lab where he was doing this for people, and I was just doing this for myself and for my business at the time when I was a fashion photographer. I was the only one in Toronto that was in those days, which was developing his own films and making prints for the various agencies, fashion agencies I was working for modeling agencies. And I had a great studio in downtown Toronto, and with a business partner who had all kinds of Hasselblad cameras, and we were shooting things all over the place for that, as well as shooting stuff for various agencies in the United States, like the DEA and all kinds of other organizations like that, photographing drug dealers and helping the police catch them. So that's what we were doing. Two different types of photography. One was very dangerous and one not so dangerous. One not dangerous at all. There you go. A little more information about what I did in life. Igen, én beszélek magyarul is, und ich kann auch Deutsch ein bisschen. Mikor én mentem egyetembe, Torontóba, akkor én csináltam mindenféle fajta diplomákat, amit én kaptam, pszichológusba, üzleti pszichológus, vagy business psychology, és mindenféle dolgokat mentem vissza iskolába 5-ször vagy 6-szor, mert volt nekem egy fotográfia memória, amit én tudtam olvasni 2400 szót egy perc alatt, és 90% fotográfia memória. És nagyon intelligens voltam, és tudtam nagyon sok dolgot csinálni. Csak hogy tudsz egy kicsit több információt rólam. And that was Hungarian, everybody, and that's just explaining that when I was at Ryerson, I went back to school several times. I got all different kinds of certificates and diplomas for all kinds of things because I had a near photographic memory at 90% recall, and I could read 2,400 words a minute, so I was pretty fast. But you have to understand, I went from a private boys' school, which was De La Salle Oaklands at St. Clair and Avenue Road, and I went to a place where there were girls everywhere. So I have to say that my marks kind of went down for the first year, I have to say. But after I got in tune what was going on, then everything was fine. Now that Ryer's Inn now exists, an actual hotel run by the hotel department at Ryerson, it's pretty great. It's pretty great for them. But I wouldn't go back in the hospitality industry if you gave me all the tea in China. Although I worked at some pretty cool places like Bristol Place Hotel and 3 small rooms in Yorkville, and I was a night auditor and did all kinds of other things like that. I'm very happy that I fell back on my hobby, which was photography, and also went back to school to study electronics engineering, and I was very successful at that as well. So I think I had a very interesting life. I'm lucky that I was able to do pretty much what I wanted to do most of my life. Now I live in Europe, and more specifically, Hungary for now. I actually met a girl who lived in Cleveland, Ohio, when I was much younger. I think I was 19 at the time, maybe 24. And we bought a house together, and then she extorted it from me, which I have to say I don't trust Americans anymore. Once bitten, twice shy, as we say in Canada. However, while I was down there, I volunteered my time for a whole year to the Cleveland Institute of the Blind, where I designed all kinds of aids for the visually impaired, and also for the Cleveland Institute of that was the Cleveland Institute. Sorry about that. For Metro Health Medical Center with Ed Prentke, also a famous clinical engineer, and I had lots of fun designing things for quads and paraplegics there as well, and for occupational therapists. And also for the Cleveland Board of Education, which I also helped Americans read and balance their checkbooks because they didn't know how to do that. There were a lot of people that just couldn't read and write. It was really quite sad. And so I gave my time to that as well. So there you go. It was good therapy for me too. When I was at Ryerson, I had to do some projects, some extra projects. And what I did, I went to Howard Johnson's hotels. I have absolutely no idea if they're still in business or not. Okay, Google, is Howard Johnson still in business in Canada?
Have a look at these pictures.
But I found these results on search.
I guess not. Anyway, what I created was a front office manual for them because their front office manual wasn't very good. And I added all kinds of photographs. It was a project I did for my school at Ryerson, and as far as front office management was concerned. And they actually used this to open up new hotels all the time because they didn't have a very good manual. I find that a lot of companies don't have very good manuals teaching their employees about things, and since then I've made all different types of things, including easy software for small business, using my technologies and my AI, because I'm one of the first ones who designed AI at the very, very beginning of the internet. You'll be able to see my software soon, my new 5th generation of it, where even the Canadian government endorsed my software because it was the easiest small business software in the world at that time. And now, even after the 5th generation, it is still the easiest software in the world. I didn't let my techies screw it up like Cisco and other companies that tried to screw me up. Anyway, them's the breaks, and you'll be able to see the software soon.